Let's talk about aperture. There are many variables that determine the exposure of your camera, and those are often referred to as the exposure triangle. One of those variables is the aperture. Now, the aperture is the measure of how opened or closed the iris is in your lens. The more open it is, the brighter the image, because more light is getting through. A more open aperture, which for some reason is considered a low aperture, like f1.5, also makes for a shallower depth of field, meaning that the things behind and in front of your focal point are more blurry. This is often a highly sought after look because it draws your attention to the thing that you're supposed to be focusing on. A more closed or higher aperture, like f4.5 by contrast, is darker. But if you were to bring back up the exposure using one of the other variables on the triangle, you wouldn't get as much blurriness, or bokeh as we call it, in the background or the foreground. Now, there are a couple of other variables on that triangle that change the exposure with some very different side effects. I guess you'll just have to follow to learn more about those ones.